Welcome back to the Casual Observer. This is the cricket edition, and big news, Brendon McCullum is gone as England Test coach. He's been officially sacked, though I dare say they'll say it's a mutual parting of the ways, but having heard how much he wanted to keep the job, I can't imagine it's mutual at all. It's a tough look for England at the moment. You've lost your captain, you've lost your coach, and if you were in a reset before, I don't know what you want to call this. This is turmoil. Bit of a mess. Look, we obviously in Australia went through a bit of the same 2018, self-inflicted. This seems a bit self-inflicted as well, and we'll break this all down as we go along. But shocking news, and with a test series against Pakistan a month away, no captain, no coach, no all-rounder, no real match winners outside of Joe Root and Harry Brook. It's a bit of a mess in English cricket, Test cricket at least. We'll talk about their T20 and ODIs against India as we go along, but we'll cover a bit of Steve Smith dominating the MLC and where he sits in all this for Australia with the World Cup around the corner. And we'll recap some of the other stuff. There's been so much cricket going on. I'm one man. I can't keep up with it all, but I try my best. I try not to miss a ball. Even if it's at God knows what time in the morning. Obviously, Soccer World Cup going on at the moment. Not really watching too much of that, to be fair. It's gotten a lot easier to keep up with. But yes, Brendon McCullum, we'll just say mutually parted ways. He did not. He got sent. Look, his record in this Bazball era, 27 wins, 20 losses, 2 draws. Not so bad. Obviously, a winning record, 2 draws, most likely in bad weather conditions. But 7 of those losses came in the last 9 test matches. So they had the win, first game against New Zealand at Lords, where it was a 50-50 coin flip on that pitch. That was dicey. The worst bowlers are made to look unplayable. Whether you want to count that as a proper win or not, I'm not sure. In a coin flip game, I'm counting that, but hey. And then the other win was in Melbourne, and another pitch that was doing way too much. So, really, the trend for England is basically you can only win when it's a bit of the ball is doing an excessive amount in this last 6 months. Before that, record was amazing. I would say it was 25 and 13. Bazball was in full swing. Even as an Aussie, I thought it was incredible to watch. I thought the fear that it put in teams, the energy to kind of go out and win a game from any position. Obviously, it all started years ago. Johnny Bairstow just pulverising New Zealand without fear. And that got the Bazball era off to the best start. Though if you remember, Jack Leach dove for a ball and got concussed and ruled out of the very first game of the second over of the Bazball era. So, look, you could say it started poorly and amazingly at the same time. You're not wrong, but it was really good at its best. They didn't win any big series against India or Australia away from home, but at home they looked really good. They didn't win the Ashes. They didn't lose the Ashes at home. They took India basically to the brink. Not only in the series when they first were coming out of Bazball, but also the most recent one in the Runs Fest that went all 25 days of the series to come down to a 2-2 finish. Should have won that one. So they had so many opportunities to actually win big series, but this is where all good things must come to an end, is coming out of a boring Chris Silverwood, Joe Root leadership, where we were blocking out games with Dom Sibley and Rory Burns, and oh god, it was hard to watch. This was a breath of fresh air. It was so enjoyable and exactly what I thought England needed. And watching from afar, I was like, I can't wait for the English summer, even as an Australian. And then slowly, the Bazball armour got chinked away at. You lose Anderson. They basically virtually retired him. That's another discussion topic, but Anderson's retired, Chris Wokes is retired, Stuart Broad retires by himself, obviously Johnny Bairstow gets moved on, There's a lot of other changes that go on. Ben Folkes, a proper keeper, gets moved on for Jamie Smith. The openers, they stuck with Zach Crawley way too long. Ollie Pope's in there. He did all right. His better position, in my mind, is number 6. So if you're batting him at 3, and I don't think it's his strongest position, I don't think you're doing him any favours. So, look, they had basically the same team the whole time, but I think this is where things get to a tipping point. It was so loved by everyone in England that they felt invincible. Team selections weren't exactly taken seriously. No one from the county game really got a chance even to have a look in. There was no real pressure on spots, and that Australia tour, as much as their team didn't really change, it was like a cancer growing from the inside that came to the surface finally. So, Zach Crawley and Ollie Pope were the big omissions since Australia, but now we can see that this whole reset, and quotations, 2 fingers up in the air, it's not gone well. It's not a reset. I can't imagine doing a reset and thinking, what part of this reset's going to be good is if we get rid of our captain and coach by the end of the very first series we take part in post-reset, which now leads to something worse than a reset. So, I think you have to give the captaincy basically now to Harry Brook. I can't see them giving it to anyone else. Maybe Ollie Pope comes back in and takes it straight away, but that's not a good look either, taking on someone that was just dropped to now have him back as captain and at the helm. And I didn't really love Ollie Pope's leadership anyway when he took over for Ben Stokes. So I just think they need a fresh new direction, fresh new all-rounder, fresh new coach. But I'd like to see their coach not go too far away from Bazball. But as Michael Vaughan has dubbed it, take it to somewhere with Bazball with brains. So I think, look, if you go a Justin Langer, Andy Flower route, you're obviously in good hands. Look, Justin Langer and Andy Flower have won at every level. They've turned teams around that looked like shit, and they can do it, but I think it's going to be too much of a culture shock to go from someone that's, Bazball, who's chill, Baz McCullum's hanging out, chill, good friends, very, very calm. Not a great coach, but more of a motivational leader. Get that get the mental side of things nailed down, perfect. And then to go to someone like, say, JL or Andy would be, you'd be having mental warfare for the first 6 months between the coach and players. So whether that's the kick up the bum they need, I think it's going to take them too far away from Bazball, which made them, even though they didn't win anything, super relevant and fun to watch. So I think they need to find a common ground in the middle where they have a bit more structure and a bit more accountability, but they can still show off that free-flowing game and make Test cricket super fun to watch, because Test cricket was already starting to get talked about dying. There's the big 3 teams out of England, Australia and India. And Bazball really brought some life back to the game. And if that just disappears, I think that's going to be a huge negative on the game for England and for everyone. So I don't want that Bazball. I mean, personally, I've got no obviously say in this, but I think Bazball should stick around. I just think the brains need to come into it. So we already started seeing signs of that. But unfortunately, the taste that's been left in our mouth after Trent Bridge, where England went back to full Bazball and just 100 for 4 with terrible shots against New Zealand in that last test. That unfortunately is the last memory we have of this, and that's disturbingly bad and sad at the same time. So I think that's the time where you get Amelia Gay to open and not Ben Stokes, and you knuckle down. And look, we don't know what the alternate universe is. They may have gone out there trying to block it and they're 50 for 4 and not 100 for 4. And we might be like, wow, they probably should have played like Bazball. But it's more the Harry Brook dismissal in that last game that really turned the tide, and opening with Ben Stokes, who just went ham, and the field is back and they're still trying to hammer him. And that's where I think a new voice, bit of leadership will come in and be like, that's fine to play that way, but the field is back. You've got to earn the right again. Make them suffer, hit ones, do that for an hour and a half, and watch them suddenly come in. They have to change their tactics at some point. So then you can Bazball again. So fresh voice. Baz McCullum did a hell of a job. I just think, unfortunately, that the sour taste has been left in our mouth at the end there. But I think we'll look back at this period and be like, hey, man, you may have actually saved English cricket along with Ben Stokes and Johnny Bairstow, funny enough. So I think for Baz McCullum, he probably took that all-out aggressive approach. You know, you got to be true to you, but after 4 years and a few failings in a row, just the same message. You know, it's like flogging a dead horse. It fell on deaf ears, and they'd had enough of it. So, you know, I'm sure he'll get another coaching job, but he's obviously still got the England white ball team. But if his love is truly Test cricket, it might be a while before he gets another one. So, I mean, I could see him coaching for Pakistan or something like that, where Pakistan has just had all this turmoil, and freeing up their mental might just unlock that nation. So who knows? But I would say well done to him. But I reckon if he got sacked after the Aussie series, we'd still have Ben Stokes around. But, you know, a lot of, you know, ifs and whats, and, you know, at the end of the day, it's happened, it's gone, time has passed, into a new era England goes. And where that leaves them team selection-wise, we don't know. But I do like Jamie Smith at 6, whether it's Sam Curran or Liam Patterson-White or some other name that we haven't thought of. You know, a Dan Lawrence that comes in at 7, provides a bit of an all-rounder role. That could be the case. But look, in England, if you have Sam Curran as your all-rounder, fine. If he goes to India, he's had plenty of experience in the IPL, but in a test match, I'm not as confident. And if he goes to South Africa or Australia, beautiful. Licking our lips at the fact that Sam Curran's going to be your 5th seamer. Bye. Send that. So, they do not have a clear replacement for Ben Stokes. No one in the county game that at least I've seen is doing enough with the bat and the ball to demand selection. And if you're looking for a pacing all-rounder, you've got to look far and wide. So I'd say that England are going to go into a transition of, do we go 7 batters, 4 bowlers and use Bethel and Root, or do we, you know, just go the all-rounder right in the middle? Do we do a Rian Ahmed, Dan Lawrence, as we said, Sam Curran, Liam Patterson-White, and just fix that at 7, someone that can bat and bowl? I'd rather see the all-rounder at 7, but hey, it's England. They might open with an all-rounder, who knows? So other than that, I would like to see Bethel actually drop down a little bit. So, you know what, you've got so many options. If you want to bring Ollie Pope back in, I'd still have Pope lower down the order, mind you. But yeah, I just think there's got to be some other stuff that goes on, because right now the balance of this team, Bethel looks fine lower down the order in my mind. At 3, he's getting found out. In the T20s, he opened, did not do much. He may have even opened in the one-dayers, did not do much. So, sorry, he didn't open in... I've got that all wrong, my bad. He opened in the one-dayers, hasn't done much. He was coming down the order at 4 in the T20s, my bad. But he looks so much better at 4. I know in the 100, last year when I watched it, he was batting at 4, I think, after Liam Livingstone, I think for Birmingham. And it looked amazing. Could bat, bowl, field, and, you know, without having to open, the game's right there in front of him laid out. I think Bethel's one of those guys that will bat 3 for a long time in the future, but right now, I think another coach would say, get him down to 6, go Root, Brook, then Bethel, and then we'll just figure out, you know, Amelia Gay, Ben Duckett at the top. That number 3 spot's been a long time suffering spot for England. You know, Ollie Pope did a decent job, but yeah, there's got to be someone else that's got to have a go there that can really nail down that spot. You know, we're talking number 3's always been a hard spot to bat, but you know, Rahul Dravid and Ricky Ponting, you know, they did the job amazingly well. But 4 seems to be the best place to bat. You know, you've got your Steve Smith, Shubman Gill, Joe Root, Brian Lara. Like, they nailed down, you know, Sachin Tendulkar all batted at 4, and Jacques Kallis even. Like, 4 is clearly the best place to bat. But in England, you're not getting number 4 until Joe Root's gone. So Bethel's probably got to go to 6, and then when Joe Root moves on, go to 4. Harry Brook at 5 is perfect. But so many other choices to make. So if Bryden Cast comes back in, you know, that doesn't really help because, you know, Matt Fisher's probably out. But yeah, they've just got to get some consistency in terms of what they're looking for and figure out what game plan they want and what selections they want. Because right now they could go 12 different ways, and that doesn't help anyone. There's no clarity, there's no clarification, there's no certainty. So England, look forward to seeing what they do in the next few months. After this, the current series that's going on, one-day series that is tied up 1 apiece. Really fun. First game, India finally got their first win of the tour after going down 4-0 in the T20s. Basically, England bat first and forget how to bat. So they get rolled for 258. Joe Root 76 not out. Liam Dawson down the order got 68. Ben Duckett 43, and then sweet FA after that. So yeah, that was really well done by India. Bit of fire. Come out and chase that down quite comfortably. 4 down. Shubman Gill 80. Washington Sundar 52 not. Axar Patel 57 not. Easy win. Chase that down in 45 overs. Second game recently, England powered to a win. India put 233 on the board all out. What were they? They were 3 for 178 and all out for 233. Massive collapse. No idea what they were doing. A little bit, Shreyas Iyer and Virat Kohli batting well, bang, bang, go, and then the next batters just come in and it's just thrown away. So I don't understand India's selection at all. This goes back to the T20s. They chop and change. Yes, you have a lot of talent, but holy moly. Like, what is your obsession with Shivam Dubey? He's trash. Preston Kishner, trash. Like, just, what's your obsession with Washington Sundar and Axar Patel batting above actual batters? No KL Rahul. It's just all over the place. In the T20s, Suryavanshi comes in and debuts. He gets 2 games. He's gone. It's like, gosh darn it, India. Like, switch on. Like, you cannot have 12 different lineups every game. It's not going to work. So, England come out, lose Duckett first ball. So basically, Joe Root opens. Bethel gets 4. Joe Root gets 99 not out. Gets just stolen by Gus Atkinson. Gus Atkinson goes for a big heave-ho, gets 4, ends the game. Selfless from Joe Root to get 99 not out after all that hard work to get them to that position. But they had 6 overs to go. Like, you definitely could have guided Joe Root to his 100 there. So, a bit rubbish from Gus Atkinson in my opinion. But, I don't like people playing for milestones usually. But, when you've basically single-handedly got your team there, maybe allow that a little bit. But whatever. The other thing is England also doing the same. Sam Curran batting at 5 ahead of Joss Buttler and Will Jacks. I just think let batters bat, man. I know Sam's good and it breaks up the righties. It's 2 lefties at the top, then right. So good to have Sam Curran obviously mix up the left and right combos, but I think Joss Buttler and Will Jacks can definitely bat better than Sam. So, both teams need to probably just bat their batters and stop chopping and changing in India's case. England, they stuck with Joss Buttler in the T20s, had a horrendous run to start with, and then in that final match just powers a brilliant 100. I think it was 120. I will find the scorecard at one point. We're a long way down here. Yes, there it is. England, 5th T20. Butler's done not much all series. Gets 131 of 64. Harry Brook gets 95, not out. It's, that's what they stuck with, basically the same team the whole time. And it paid dividends while India chopped and changed their opening combo between Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma, and, oh my God, I forgot his name. Having a seniors moment. Suryavanshi. There we go. But yeah, they did not look good in the T20s. I mean, we had this chat on a podcast recently where, and Ishan Kishan also opened at one point. Where we had this chat recently where it's just like, India could probably put 4 teams in the next World Cup and all 4 make the semi-final because they have that much depth. That was obviously coming off the back of the IPL. Right now, they look trash. All-out aggressiveness, which is T20, but basically in this lineup, it's, as soon as the ball is doing a bit off the track, you can see Abhishek, not so good. Suryavanshi, he still looks fine. He's just, he's learning the game, but he just plays one too many shots. Ishan Kishan, not as good when it's not flat. Shreyas Iyer, look, he's basically the one that'll hold the innings together. And then I still don't understand, Dubey, Rana, why Tilak Varma's below Aksa Patel. Like, there's so many things that's going on with India right now. It's a mess. So, they straight up deserve to lose that series 4-0. The only reason it wasn't 5-0 was a washout in game 1. So we'll see how game 3 goes of that ODI series. I believe that is tonight. Awesome. 6 p.m. WA time. Sweet. So we'll find out how that series goes. But at least Baz and the white ball team are having some huge success so far. So, England, we got a bit of time at least. I think the 100's starting soon. So we got plenty coming up. The MLC, so in America, Steve Smith has been powering and piling on the runs like no tomorrow. Got 100 and... Oh, I've got the scorecard here. I mean, super impressive, by the way. Goes up against Matt Short in the semi-final, and Matt Short gets 121 not out, and Matt Short's team loses. That's incredible. No help whatsoever. He had 121. Next highest score is Xavier Bartlett with 28. No wonder you lost. But yeah, the what is it? Washington Freedom, killing it, just killing it. They what was this scorecard? It was an insane scorecard before. It was potentially it was the biggest chase ever. So Steve Smith, Washington Freedom is chasing 267 for victory after Nicholas Pooran gets 106 off 33. Kieran Pollard gets 64 off 25. They lose Mitch Owen and Rachin Ravindra very quickly. It's Steve Smith and Andres Goose in the middle. 2 for 10. You're like, okay, that's over. That's game over. No chance. Big chance. They win with 8 deliveries left. They get 270. Steve Smith 110 not out of 48. Goose 132 off 51. Incredible. 12 extras didn't help either. Insanity. Romario Shepherd, none for 48 off 2. Kieran Pollard, none for 21 off 1. Tajinder Singh, none for 31 off 1. Just insane economy rates. But Steve Smith been piling it on, over 500 runs for the year for MLC and Washington Freedom. And it sparked in my head why, I know he's 37, but why is he not playing for Australia in the T20, any T20 side, let alone a World Cup side? So it can only lead to the fact that Australia is either picking for the future when you have proven talent right there. And I always believe, you got to blood some young players, but I think the entire T20 side is, everyone wants to bat in the top, and Steve Smith can do it amazingly well in any condition. So if he bats 3 so you don't break up Mitch Marsh and Travis Head, fine. You still have Josh Inglis, Tim David. If you want Cam Green, Cooper Connolly, you have all them in the reserve. So Matt Renshaw, there's plenty of talent there, but I think you keep the opening combo. You go Steve Smith at 3, and then you can most likely go, Matt Renshaw, Tim David, Cooper Connolly, some sort of order. Josh Inglis fits in there ahead of Cooper Connolly. That's probably your best order batting wise, but if the selectors don't go that way, I don't know what else this man can do. I mean, he's kept his game improving every year, and now he's 37 is no spring chicken. He's refound his game. He had a couple of years after the Ashes, 2019 Ashes, where he lost his hands and lost everything. It looked like maybe he's on the downturn, but he's come back amazingly well, and you can see he's now figured out how to play his game with a body that's no longer 23. He's figured out what his limitations are and how to avoid them, and how to score runs at any level still. I think 37 is just an age. Look at what some of these guys are doing. LeBron James is 41 and nearly 42, heading into his 23rd NBA season. Steve Smith, cricket's not as big a game as the NBA. So if he wants to keep playing, he might get 5 years out of his body still. And 5 years, that might be 2 or 3 T20 World Cups. I think if you had him in the squad, the young players are still going to get better, but we can also win potentially one or two of those. So that would be a big one for me to get him back in. But we'll see how the matches go tonight. We're still waiting on Game 3 between England and New Zealand. No, New Zealand and the West Indies. That's been quite a fun ODI series. New Zealand are up 2-1. But yeah, when the West Indies are on, they are on. They look amazing. Shea Hope, Brandon King, Casey Carty. But when they're off, or getting rolled for 130 is not so fun. So, we've got England and India tonight. We've got the West Indies and New Zealand tonight at 10 p.m. And then, I believe we start with the women's and men's 100 on the 21st and 22nd of July. So not too far away. So plenty of cricket coming up. Cannot wait for more squad announcements for Australia and Bangladesh, England, Pakistan, all those kind of... I think it's also... There's a Pakistan and West Indies series coming up, Test series. So that's the 25th of July. So plenty coming up, plenty of talking points. But let us know what you think about Steve Smith's selection. Who should coach England? Who should come into the side? What their squad makeup should be? I just believe they need to find another number, either find a good number 3 or find a really good all-rounder at number 7. But that'll fix most of your problems, I think. And then just, Bazball with brains. That's the way to go. So give us your thoughts. Like, subscribe, follow. It really helps us out here on the channel. But until next time, we've got some more news to talk about. Appreciate all your support. We'll see you then.